All right, guys, injuries from the game. Jeff Wilson left with illness, he returned. Witherspoon had cramps, he returned. Mike Person, stinger. He had that at the end, so he didn't return. Taylor, jaw, we're still evaluating that, and that's it. Go ahead.
Probably a very stupid question, but what does George Kittle mean to this team?
I was going to mess with you, but he means a ton. You guys all know that. It was hard without him, and then having him back tonight. I mean, obviously what he did in the pass game, but what he does in the run game is equally as important. It was great to have him out there.
Is he playing with a broken bone? Is that what's happening here?
Yes. I mean, there's all types of different broken bones. So, but he definitely has one. He had one right on the first play of the Arizona game. But I mean, it was stable then. I mean, it's a bone chip. So, I mean, it was stable then, but he's got to play through some pain with it. Why we had to rest him was for his knee to get healthy, which took a couple weeks. And the bone was stable, but that's going to cause him some pain for a little bit.
Everyone talks about Aaron Rodgers and his off-schedule plays. He's made a career of that. Didn't have much of that tonight. What did you guys do so effectively?
I mean, it looked like pass rush and coverage. And we kept him in the pocket, I think, fairly well. Guys weren't open in rhythm from what it seemed like. And I thought, we did a good job mixing up our plan where sometimes it was four. I know we brought some pressure on the first third down and we got them. Just changing that stuff up schematically, so they had to change up their protections. And obviously we got a good front four, too, who can rush on their own. And from the clips I saw live, it looked like our coverage was very tight also.
Kyle, you talked the other day about how few of your guys have been on winning teams, and I'm just wondering, how impressed are you with the way they handled this moment, prime time, big opponent?
I've been very impressed with them. I mean, our guys, I've been very impressed with our guys since we got together in OTAs, and we got a really good group of people. We got a smart group. We got guys who love football, very high character in how much they work and how much they dedicate to football. And I think that's what started us out this year, playing so tough, playing so well together. We got a lot of wins early, which I think a lot of people didn't expect. And when that does happen, you always worry if it's going to change people and things like that. But our guys haven't changed at all. I think they've got even more locked in, more focused. Our guys aren't just in there pumped about where we're at. They're pumped about the possibilities where we can go. And that's what excites them the most. And hopefully we can keep working to make that happen.
Can you talk about the night Fred Warner had and how he's really developed on this defense?
Yeah, Fred's been unbelievable all year. Today, I mean, I'll see it better when I watch the film, but just every time I looked up, he was making plays, going sideline to sideline, being able to make some big hits and not get penalties while doing it. And what he does just from getting us in the right call standpoint, he's unbelievable. I mean, we got a bunch of checks, mix our scheme up a lot, and Fred doesn't make a mistake all game.
Emmanuel Mosley start and play the first quarter, and then Akello took over for him for the rest of the game?
We're still just trying to ease Akello back in. Akello had a pretty good week of practice. Still thought he was about a week away to get his starting job back. It's a matter of time before he does get that. So we planned on putting Akello in a couple series each half. We knew when this day ended he was going to get a couple series, and then E-Man, I think his ankle was a little bit sore on special teams. I forget what happened. He never had to come out, but he got a little bit banged up. And when we gave Kello his role that we planned on putting him in, and he was feeling better, we just kept him in.
There's a lot of familiarity between the two teams. What was the challenge of mixing things up but still sticking with what you believe in?
That's almost a challenge every week. Just because people know each other and have worked together. You kind of have an idea of what people like to do and where they go, but the tape's still the tape, and every team in this league knows each other pretty well, especially when you've been calling plays for a while, unless you just got in the league and you're first doing it, and then people got to wait and see what you're about. But Matt's done this long enough, I've done it long enough, Pedden has, Saleh has, so I see it the same as every other week.
What did you think of Jimmie's performance tonight?
I thought Jimmie was great. I thought we did very well in the run and the pass game. The opportunities that he had in the pass game, from what I can think back to, he seemed pretty flawless. I think he protected the ball. Weren't close to any picks. I thought he protected the ball when they did get there in pass rush, and made some big plays when he had to.
You put
Daniel Brunskill in for Justin School at a certain point. What did you see from each of those two guys, and why the replacement?
That was just a call John Ben made, our line coach, during the game. I know School there was a couple push in the pocket on two of them. I believe one of them was sack. I'm not sure what happened on the other. And we knew, Brunskill's played a lot of football too, just like School. Both of them did a great job when McGlinchey and Staley were out. And at School, we weren't going to make him go the whole time. So we planned on getting Brunskill in. He came in, and I really don't even know which one's in when the play happens. I only notice if a bad play happens, I ask who it was. So I don't know how long he stayed in for, but since I didn't say his name again, I'm sure he did a pretty good job.
Armstead has benefited from better edge rush, but what else has gone into his season in your mind?
Arik's been great since we've gotten here. Going against Arik in training camp and OTAs, even from our first year, he's a guy who, I hated going against him as an offensive coach. He's very hard to block in the run and pass game. I thought he did some real good things for us the first 2 years. I think he's had some unfortunate injuries. I think this year he's been able to stay healthy, play in every game, and I think just the way we've changed up our D-line, our style of play it's benefited all of them, but really probably him the most, just in terms of never having to kind of read and react, just being aggressive every play, going right at the quarterback, reacting to run, and with his length and size, and just allowing him to be a little bit more decisive. And then the rest has been him. He's had no hesitation, and he stayed healthy.
What was the explanation you got on the foul on Richard Sherman in the end zone?
They thought it was unnecessary. I didn't see it, but They said he pushed a receiver out of bounds in the back. I do know that with these quarterbacks, especially scrambling quarterbacks like Aaron, I know as soon as they break the pocket, that's something we want them doing. If they're by the sidelines, push them out. Usually allowed to do that once they leave the pocket. Then they can't come back in and make a catch. But they told me it was unnecessary, and I didn't have time, so I didn't totally know exactly what they were talking about.
Is it accurate that the chip bone in Kittle's ankle is less of a problem than his knee at the moment?
Yeah, you could. It is in terms of re-injuring and stuff. When you find out a guy's got a broken ankle after the first play of the Arizona game, and then we're told he can come back in, that doesn't make sense to me either. So I get it when people hear broken bone. But just to help you guys with that, because I needed it too. But it was like a piece of tree bark came off. Like it was just a shaved part of the bone came off, and when you do that, it's still stable. You can't break it worse, and you're able to go with it, but it's extremely painful. So that was a choice he made in that game, which you will make it for him if it's not stable. But if it's stable, he can go as long as he can tolerate the pain. But the stuff he had in his knee, since we're getting more detailed on it, I think it was a popped capsule, whatever that means. That took a couple more weeks to heal up. Then once that was healed, then it's a pain tolerance with the ankle. Hopefully I don't have to talk about medical stuff longer than that.
Talk game plan then.
Thank you.
What opens up for you just generally when you have Kittle in there as opposed when you don't?
Just Kittle helps out so much on the edges with our runs. When we lost our tackles, it's always tougher when you take a step back, even though Brunskill and School have done a great job. Just they haven't been out there like McGlinchey and Staley have. And when you lose the edge like that just a little bit in the run game, but you have a tight end who's like Kittle in the run game, then it can really help you on the edges there. So when he's out there, we just can stretch the defense more, which helps us get outside. It also helps us cut back. So it gets our run game going. And when it gets our run game going, everyone knows what he can do in the pass game. I think a lot of his catches today were off of run actions, especially the 60-yarder. They came up on the run, cut a crosser, and got him over the top, and it kind of opens up everything just like all good players do.
That play was going to be there just when you called it?
Yes, that's what we were hoping for. We were hoping to get a quarter's look, and we did, and then you just hope you have the time for it to set up, which is why we faked and rolled out to the left, and we had the time, and they cut the crosser, and the rest is those guys making the play.
It's a really tight race at the top of the NFC. Do you guys pay attention to the other teams in the standings, or are you focused on inside the building here?
We're very well aware of how tight of a race it is, but it's way too early to sit there and focus on it. The way things are going, I'm sure that'll be the last week that really it's worth knowing what's out there. But there's a lot of football to play and a lot of games and a lot of good teams out there.
Like Arik Armstead, Jimmie Ward is finally healthy and being able to show what he's able to do.
Yes, definitely. Jimmie Ward, as I think I've said in here, has been one of my favorite players since I've walked in this door just because of the way he plays, how important football is to him. He goes out there and gives it his all, and it's been hard to I think it's been hard for me to watch for him because people have gone down on him just because he's gotten hurt most of his years here. And but that doesn't take away from how good of a football player he is. And Jimmie's a guy who plays hurt, plays through anything. He's just had some very bad breaks in his career so far, and this year he hasn't. And to me, he's playing like he always has since he became a rookie in this league. But the longer he stays out there, the more people notice.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.